Welcome to my channel. Try to hear the latest story.
My relationship came to an end last Friday night, and she's still unaware of it. Before heading to a concert with her friends, I overheard my girlfriend chuckle and say, "I shaved every inch of myself, just in case." Her friends burst into laughter. I stayed silent. The next morning, while she was still groggy from the night before, she found her belongings neatly packed by the front door. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't shed a tear. I didn't demand answers. That single sentence she uttered was all I needed to hear. Her words haunted me all night while she was out. Just in case. It was a light-hearted confession that she was open to seizing any opportunity with someone else if it arose. To her and her friends, it was a playful quip. But to me, it was a stark revelation of her disregard for me and our 2-year relationship. Her name is Emily. We shared my apartment. I say my apartment because my name is the only one on the lease, a detail that would soon prove significant. She was getting ready in the bedroom with her friends, Sarah and Rachel, while I was in the living room, supposedly watching TV. The door was slightly open, and their voices drifted out. They were buzzing with excitement, chatting about the band, their outfits, and how much they planned to drink. Then came Emily's remark, bold and unapologetic. Rachel howled with laughter. Sarah's chuckle seemed more reserved. I noticed, but she laughed too. My stomach dropped. I didn't move. I sat frozen on the couch, staring at the muted TV, her words looping in my mind. It wasn't just the implication of infidelity. It was the deliberate, carefree way she said it. The fact that she shared it with her friends, turning my potential betrayal into a lighthearted joke for their night out. When they emerged from the bedroom, Emily was radiant. She'd spent hours perfecting her hair and makeup. She wore a dress I'd never seen before. She leaned over and gave me a quick, obligatory kiss. "We're heading out," she said, her tone cheerful. "Don't wait up. It's gonna be a late night." "All right," I replied, my voice steady. "Have a good time. Stay safe." She didn't sense anything was off. She didn't catch the look in my eyes. She only saw the agreeable boyfriend she was leaving behind as she kept her options open. They left, and the apartment fell silent. For about 10 minutes, I just sat there. I didn't feel anger. I felt a sudden clarity. It was as if a switch had been flipped. All the subtle warning signs from the past 2 years suddenly formed a clear pattern. The way she'd tilt her phone away from me. The late-night work events that stretched until 2 a.m. The way she'd speak a little too warmly about her exes. It all clicked. So I got to work. I started in the bedroom closet. I pulled out 3 duffel bags and a few empty boxes from the shelf. I went through her side of the closet, carefully removing each piece of clothing, folding it and packing it away. Her shoes went into a box. In the bathroom, I gathered all her cosmetics, her countless creams and serums, into another box. I was meticulous, ensuring nothing was damaged. This wasn't about rage or destruction. It was a calm, systematic removal, an eviction. I packed everything. Her novels, her tablet, the small keepsakes on her bedside table. By 3 a.m., every item of hers in my apartment was neatly packed and stacked by the front door. I placed her keys on top of the main box. I took a photo of the pile, time-stamped at 3:17 a.m. Then I went to sleep in the guest room. I couldn't bring myself to sleep in our bed. She stumbled in around 4 a.m., loud and intoxicated. I heard her trip over a box and swear. Then there was a long, heavy silence. "James?" she called out. Her voice was suddenly small, sobered. I didn't respond. I heard her move through the apartment. She checked the bedroom. She saw the empty closet, the cleared-off surfaces on her side of the room. I heard her sharp gasp. "James, what is this?" she shouted, pounding on the guest room door. "Open the door. What's going on?" I remained silent. I put in earplugs. After about 20 minutes of her yelling and sobbing, she stopped. I heard her dragging the bags and boxes out the door, one by one. Took her nearly an hour. The sound of the front door slamming shut was the most relieving sound I'd ever heard. She started blowing up my phone immediately. Calls I ignored. Texts that shifted from confusion to anger to desperation. I let them pile up. I finally drifted off around dawn. When I woke, I felt a peace I hadn't known in years. I went to the kitchen for coffee and saw a furious, tear-streaked note on the counter. I crumpled it without reading it and tossed it in the trash. My first call wasn't to her, but to my sister, Lauren. Lauren's a lawyer. She's sharp, practical, and never cared for Emily. "It's done," I said when she answered. I told her what I'd overheard and what I'd done. "Good," she said immediately. Then her legal mind took over. "All right, let's stay ahead of this. Is her name on the lease?" "No, just mine." "Perfect. That makes her a guest, not a tenant. You can revoke her access to your home at any time for any reason. You returned all her belongings, so she can't accuse you of theft. First step, change the locks today. Locksmith's coming at 10 a.m., I said. "Smart move," she replied. "Next, the car." "Oh, the car. A year ago, Emily's old clunker broke down. She wanted a sleek new car, but her credit was terrible. She pleaded with me to co-sign for a 2-year-old BMW. I was reluctant but eventually agreed. My name was on the loan alongside hers, and my credit was the main reason it was approved. She made the payments, but the loan was my responsibility too." "What about the car?" I asked. "As a co-signer, you have rights," Lauren explained. "You're equally liable for the debt, which means you also have a claim to the asset if the primary borrower defaults or breaches the loan terms. Find the loan agreement. Read me the section on delinquency and repossession." I dug out the loan documents from my files. I found the clause. It stated that if a payment was over 30 days late, the lender could repossess the vehicle without notice. It also mentioned the co-signer's duty to inform the lender of any changes in the borrower's circumstances that might impact their ability to pay, like a change in address or job status. "She'll try to use the car to manipulate you," Lauren said. "She might threaten to stop payments, leaving you with the debt, or use it to force a conversation. We need to neutralize that. Keep that document ready." The locksmith came and went. The new keys felt reassuring in my hand. Then I did something I should have done sooner. I reviewed our shared finances. She'd send me her half of the rent and utilities via PayPal each month. I scrolled through the past year's transactions. Sure enough, she'd been late 4 times. One payment was delayed by over 2 weeks. I took screenshots of each late payment, timestamps included. This was proof. It wasn't about the money. It was about documenting her unreliability. The next battle was, predictably, our mutual friends. By Saturday afternoon, the smear campaign started. My friend Tom texted me, "Hey, Emily's going off in the group chat. She's saying you lost it and threw her out for no reason while she was asleep. People are freaking out." Emily's story painted me as a jealous, controlling lunatic who'd been waiting for an excuse to dump her. She conveniently left out her shaved comment. She framed it as me having a sudden breakdown. I called Tom. "She's not telling the truth. I'm sure you can guess there's more to it." "I figured," he said. "But she's convincing, crying, saying she's afraid of you." I had to tread carefully. A public back and forth would get messy. I needed something concrete. I thought of Sarah, the friend who'd been there when Emily made the comment. Her laugh had seemed hesitant. I found her number and texted her. "Hey Sarah, I know this is awkward, but I have a question. Was I wrong to be upset by what Emily said last night before you left?" Her reply was instant. "No, you weren't. It was a lousy thing to say." I told her that in the car. This was my chance. "She's telling everyone I kicked her out for nothing. Would you be willing to share what was said after, in the group chat or elsewhere? I'm not trying to start drama. I just want the truth out there." 10 minutes passed with no response. I thought she was staying out of it. Then my phone pinged. It was a screenshot from Sarah. It was from their girls' group chat, timestamped Friday at 9:15 p.m., about 20 minutes after they left my place. Rachel had written, "That cute drummer is totally eyeing you." Emily's reply, "I know, right? Here's hoping." Winking face with tongue, "Good thing I'm ready." Sarah had responded with just an eye roll emoji. This was undeniable proof. It wasn't just a thoughtless remark. It was a deliberate intention. The joke continued after she left me. I sent the screenshot to Tom. "This is what she said." I texted, "Feel free to share it in the group chat. I'm not fighting her, but people deserve the truth." Tom's reply was quick. "Wow, okay, sharing now." I can only imagine the chaos that screenshot caused. Within an hour, I had texts from 3 other friends. "Man, I'm so sorry. We should have known better." Emily's out of line. Her support crumbled. The narrative she'd spun was shattered by one piece of evidence from a friend with integrity. Emily went berserk. She accused Sarah of betraying her. Sarah, according to a later text from Tom, simply said, "I'm not lying for you, Emily. What you did was wrong." Sarah then left the group chat. With the social storm handled, I focused on the car. I knew she'd try to use it against me. On Monday morning, I got an angry email from her. I'd blocked her number, so email was her only option. The subject: the car. You think you can destroy my life and walk away? You co-signed for my car. If you don't meet me to talk this out, I'll stop paying. Let's see how your perfect credit holds up. Your move. It was exactly what Lauren predicted. But I felt calm. Her written threat was precisely what I needed. It was a clear intent to default on the loan. I didn't respond to her. I called the auto finance company. I spoke to a loan officer and explained the situation clearly and factually. Hello, I'm James Carter, co-signer on loan number 456C2. The primary borrower is Emily Watson. I'm calling because I believe the asset is at risk. Ms. Watson no longer lives at the address on file, and I don't know her current stable address. She also emailed me this morning at 8:42 a.m., stating her intent to stop payments, violating the loan agreement. The officer was professional. Do you have that email, sir? Yes, I said. I can forward it. Please send it to our collections department. I'll provide the email address. Once we have it, we'll open a case. Given her stated intent to default and her unstable address, we may need to secure the asset. Do you know the vehicle's current location? I did. Tom had mentioned Emily was staying at Rachel's place. I knew Rachel's address. The car is likely parked near this address, I told the officer. Thank you, Mr. Carter. We'll handle it from here. You'll be notified of any actions taken. I sent Emily's email to the bank. Then I waited. I'd simply reported a risk to their asset, as was my duty as a cosigner. Their response was up to them. 2 days later, on Wednesday evening, I drove home from the gym and took a detour past Rachel's building. There it was. A tow truck was hooking up Emily's BMW. Emily and Rachel were on the sidewalk, shouting at the repo man, who ignored them with the calm detachment of someone used to such scenes. Emily was sobbing, a full meltdown. I didn't linger. I drove by, just another car in traffic. I didn't feel victorious or smug. I felt a quiet sense of balance returning. She'd made her choices. These were the results. The repossession sparked immediate fallout. She left a dozen furious voicemails on my now unblocked phone. I'd unblocked it to hear her reaction. She threatened to sue me for stealing her car, for ruining her life, for everything. They were hollow threats from someone who'd lost all leverage. I listened, saved them to a folder on my laptop, and blocked her number again. The final chapter closed about a month later. Things had calmed down. I met Sarah for coffee to thank her. She said Emily had burned all her bridges, alienating everyone with her lies and drama. She was still at Rachel's, but tensions were high. She was broke, carless, and miserable. One afternoon, I got a call from an unknown number. I don't usually answer, but I was expecting a call from a vendor, so I picked up. Is this James Carter? A professional-sounding woman asked. I'm Linda, property manager for Oakwood Residences. I'm calling for a landlord reference for an applicant, Emily Watson. She listed you as her most recent landlord. I nearly laughed. The audacity was staggering. She was trying to use me to rebuild her life after everything. I can assist with that, I said, keeping my tone professional. Great, Linda said. Can you confirm Ms. Watson was your tenant for the past 2 years? I can confirm she lived in my apartment for about 22 months, I said carefully. But she was never on the lease. She was a long-term guest. There was a pause. I see. Did she contribute to rent? She did, sending me her share of rent and utilities monthly. Were those payments on time? I checked my saved screenshots. My records show she was late 4 times in the last 12 months. February, May, August, and October last year. The August payment was 16 days late. I see, Linda said, her tone cooler. One last question. Would you rent to Ms. Watson again? I paused briefly. No comment, I said. All right, she said. Thank you, Mr. Carter. She hung up. I knew Emily's application had just been rejected. I hadn't lied. I hadn't slandered her. I'd given a prospective landlord accurate, documented facts about her unreliability.